What's going on, everybody? This Jai Juice. We out here at the Humble Civic Center, Billionaire Bullet Club, Dog Show, and Car Show. We will be here till about 7 o'clock or until supplies run out. Come out and shop with us. We got the best nutritious, delicious, cold fresh juices in the city. Come out here and shop with us at the Humble Civic Center. I know it's a little rainy, but it's covered. And you can still get in, get you some cold juices. Check out some dope dogs, some fly cars. Enjoy your day. Come out and shop. What's going on, everybody? This Jai Juice. We out here at the Humble Civic Center, Billionaire Bullet Club, Dog Show, and Car Show. We will be here till about 7 o'clock or until supplies run out. Come out and shop with us. We got the best nutritious, delicious, cold fresh juices in the city.
I just got approved for 20 lines.
How we do it up in here. That's how we doing. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? This is your boy, you know what I'm saying, G5 with another fine episode of 5Cast, you know what I'm saying, The Experience. Listen, this show right here, I know I say it all the time, but this show is very special. And the reason why it's special is because, one, it should have happened a couple times already. But I'm telling you, the way timing works, I think it's happening when it's supposed to happen. It's because there's a lot of people that's kind of coming into the new year and they're looking at opportunities, different things to do, or some people are like doing things and they may have gotten some guidance that wasn't really the right guidance, you know. So I think right now, just to bring somebody in who I feel that knows what they're doing, because one, you know how I do. I'm not going to bring people to everybody off of some. I heard some this right here. It's because I paid attention and I watched the person. I studied the person as far as kind of seeing if what they're saying matches up to what they're actually doing. And because this, you know, I do have a reason to go to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't met her in person, but because I do kind of have those connections and roots there, I'm able to kind of really see things in a different light. And so, so as I said in the heading of the Instagram post, I've noticed her, you know what I'm saying, about a year ago. And when I did, you know, she was just saying some things and she wasn't trying to do all that floss extras, the extra stuff that some people do. Now, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, okay? But what I'm saying is she wasn't doing it. So what happened was it kind of made me, it kind of drew me because it seemed very genuine. And I like people that are genuine. So so I just followed her and just kind of peeped what she was doing. And when I was going to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, I would kind of throw an extra ear down and stuff like that. And so I just you know, took that time. So then I said, I'm going to reach out to her. So I reached out to her. She got back to me. We had a great conversation. In the conversation, she was taking me in the conversation. I said, oh, yeah. I said, stop. No. I said, this is going to be for the show. I said, because the things that she was telling me, it was like everything she was saying from a societal standpoint, she wouldn't be doing what she's doing right now. You know, and so I admired that, and I really respected that. So without further ado, I'm not going to bring it on too long, but just so y'all know, I did have my beard oil in here, and if you could, I'm trying to tell you, girl, if you could see about this beard oil, it's serious up in here. You know what I'm saying? I got to shout that out myself. So.
Okay.
You know, hey, listen, I'm just trying to tell you what we do right here. This is what we do. So I got the beard oil popping right here from my boy Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure I put Instagram up on the site. And of course, I've been popping my Jajus. I'm saying shout out to my boy Daryl. He came through this evening, dropped me a fresh batch because I'm rocking with his this right here. This is that tuna. That tuna is so fire. So when you do come to Houston, I'm gonna make sure you get an old batch with you so that you can have it be feeling good, tasting good. You know what I'm saying? And get some of the sea moss that I'm rocking with. Okay. All right. So without further ado, you took your name down. Let's see. Did it fall down? Did it fall down? I'll see it on the thing. I don't see it on the screen. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure I get it right. Okay, there it is. I just pulled it back up. Okay. You know what I'm saying? All right, my girl. You know what I'm saying? We're building with Desi. What's going on? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, I am doing good. How about yourself?
Hey, you know, I'm just trying to make it. Just trying to do a little something, you know.
Exactly. I always tell people, you know, when people ask me how you doing, I say I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. No need to complain. Complaining don't help. It's actually rude to complain. So,
ooh, come on now. Yeah. Damn, shout out there right there, girl. You got some old country roots in your system over there. You got them Georgia bass. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So, so give us a brief little summary first, because that's how we started off. Give me a little brief little summary of who you are, you know, and then I'll get into the part that I do. Okay, and then we'll make this thing happen.
Perfect. I am Desiree. I go by Desi, Big Desi, Des. I have like 3 different nicknames. I grew up with Desi, so that's my main name. I'm 24 years old. I don't have any kids, but I have little brothers and sisters that I tell people all the time, like, they are my kids. So I do not push out any kids into their good and they're grown and things of that nature. Just a little bit about me, of course. I graduated high school. I did attend college. I went to college.
But don't tell that part, because that's gonna be part of the story.
Okay.
That's gonna be part of the thing that I get into right there.
Okay.
You know okay. So what do you, just kind of summary, like what do you do right now? Just summarize.
As of right now, I own a vending machine company, and I am a business coach. I help entrepreneurs. Doesn't matter if you're a new business, old business. I help you build business credit. So that's a little bit about me. Like you said, don't go into too much.
Yeah, because we're going to get into that thing right there. We're going to get into it. Don't even play with it. Don't play with it. Okay. All right. So this is the deal. This is how we do it. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back on it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And, well, I mean, you're young too, so that's good. So even with me going back, you know, it won't be long before we get to where you're at right now when you start making this thing happen. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we're going to go back to, sis, you probably remember it real well. So let's take you back to 10-year-old Desi. Big Desi, what they call you. You know what I'm saying? The long leg girl. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, dog. So
shout out to my height, man.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know, my younger daughter, she tall. You know what I'm saying? She about 5'9".
But 10 years old, what grade you in at 10 years old?
Shoot, you know what? I don't be knowing. I be messing up on the grade thing. Okay, so I hit with this right here. So you say you was 10. Your youngest sibling is how old?
Is 8.
8. The youngest one is 8. Okay. And okay, they wasn't born when you were 10 years old then.
Right.
So, okay. Well, okay. The next one next to you. How many?
It's 6 of us. I have
6 piece.
I have one that's older than me. She's 26.
Okay, she's 26. Okay. All right then. So 10 years old. We're gonna try to let's hit 8th grade. We'll hit 8th grade.
8th grade.
8th grade. So tell me about 8th grade Desi.
Okay, so 8th grade Desi, I was a tomboy.
What?
Yes. You couldn't make me wear a purse, wear slides. Right. I played basketball. I was a center and I was a starter.
Okay, come on now. Hold up now. Don't try to slide back there like you get the tip. You know what I'm saying? Were you the awkward tall, or were you know what I'm saying? You know how some people can be awkward tall and some people ain't grown into it?
I was taller than others.
Okay, got it.
Okay, it wasn't nothing like, but I was tall.
Okay, great. Okay, got it. So you doing center, you rocking things. Okay, got you.
I'm rocking things. As they like to say, I think it's like 5 and 6 on the court. The numbers, I think it's 5.
Yeah. Yo, 5. Okay. Yeah. 4 5. Okay, no problem. You know what I'm saying? You're in the 4th position. You were doing your thing. Power forward, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Something like that.
Right.
But yeah, so I played basketball. I was a tomboy.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. Football. I was rough.
Ooh, come on
I,
now.
I liked it to fight a lot, but I think that
Come
came with
on, Desi, without scrapping.
yeah.
You putting them hands on people. Oh man, shout out to damn Desi, whoop your ass. Shit. Oh, badass Desi. You was
Yeah, I
bad.
was
You was
yeah,
bad.
I
Okay,
had
got it.
I had to get it together, but
Uh-huh.
um I had to do something. So I always did things like I was in a band, I played the clarinet,
Okay.
I did basketball. So I got my feet wet a little bit.
All
I got
right,
my
that's what
feet
I'm
wet a
talking
little bit.
about. Okay, nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. So you did your thing. Okay. So eighth grade, so ninth grade, you hit it on the high school. Okay,
Hit it on
because
high school.
you playing basketball and stuff like
I,
that.
I was still
What high school did you attend?
Southwest DeKalb High School.
Oh, you from the deep. Okay, okay. Go ahead and start with the cab. You doing your thing over there. Y'all thugging over there. Woo. Okay, anyway. Shout out to that right there. Y'all, if you didn't win the game, y'all fighting. But it's all good. All right. So you over the ninth grade. So how was it going in ninth grade? How was it going into high school?
Going into high school, I actually wanted to see something different. So I still
Mm,
play basketball.
okay.
They had a CNA like class where you can, go in and take your CNA courses to become a CNA like before you get out of high school. So I'm like,
Okay.
okay, this might be something that I might be interested in. So I started in ninth. I think I didn't graduate until like almost the end of 10th. Of
Okay.
course, it was like courses and classes over the semester. But I
Mm-hmm.
got into CNA. I always passed my classes. I never was even though I used to fight, be bad, stuff like that, I made
Right.
sure I passed my classes though. So I had some type of, you know,
Okay. So some part of you looking toward the future. You know.
yeah, that's
You
so
know. So.
crazy. But I'm real big on now, like growing up, your circle. And I wish that when I
Mm,
was younger, I understood that. And the reason I say that is because from sixth to seventh, eighth grade, I hung out with people who like to fight. I hung out with people who like to skip class, and so your circle is very, very important. And like
mm,
towards 11th and 12th grade is when I start understanding the people you hang around is very, very important.
So it's kind of like you're you're growing up alumni in a sense, right? You know,
Yep.
it's like people like to look back on time periods and if it was something positive, those people might have went off and did some great things, right? But if it
Right.
was something where you were a lot of issues and stuff like that, then you kind of knew where they were going to head, or where they were heading up to. Okay, got it. So you even thought about that. Okay, got it. All right. So coming on up, 9th, 10th, you play basketball.
Yep.
You play? Were you good?
Ninth, 10th grade, I was actually on varsity in 10th grade.
Okay. Oh, what? Go ahead now. Okay, doing your thing. Okay,
Shout
good.
out to my coach, Coach Walton. I love that lady. I'm not even gonna lie. And if we lost the game,
Yeah.
just know we finna run our lungs
The
out.
run game was strong. I
We
think
finna
it's something on the East Coast. They run the crap. Our coach used to take us out 10 miles, and I'm not lying. On the bus, we got 10 miles, and we had to run back, and then we start practice after we got back.
I'm talking about.
Crazy, right? Crazy, crazy. But we could run though. I run game. You weren't gonna beat us on the court running. That's what you weren't gonna do.
That's what
Okay.
you was gonna do. Fast breaking all.
Okay. So during that time period, so you had siblings in the house when you was in high school, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then so, were you like the matriarch type sister, or were you the one to take care of everybody? I mean,
Yeah,
explain
so
that to me a little bit.
growing up, just to give a little backstory, my mom could never get it together. Like, I don't know what was wrong with her, but I just accept her for who she is. As I got older, I just accept her for who she is. That's just who she is. But growing up, of course, you don't understand that young. You're trying to figure out what's going on. It was just a lot, right? But
Hmm.
growing up, I think we got taken away from my mom elementary. So I always used to be in what they want to say like foster care. But the only difference between
Hmm.
me is my older sisters, we all have different daddies. So my older
Okay.
sister, her grandmother took both of us in. So I really
Mm.
appreciate that because she didn't have to take me in. I'm not her granddaughter.
Right.
But she took both of us in because she didn't want us to get split up as younger, and now you're growing up, you're trying to find your siblings and things of that nature. So I really
Right.
appreciate it. But to fast forward, I was raised by my grandma. To this day, that's my grandma.
What's grandma's name? Hold up now.
Grandma name is Johnny. Her name is Johnny.
Grandma John, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? You did your thing, girl. You done took it in, brought them in. You didn't want to split and the divide and stuff like that. You want to make sure everybody stayed
Mm-hmm.
together. That's what I'm talking about. Them staples, the real big mamas. You know what I'm saying?
The
The
real
real big
big
mama,
mama.
the last of the big mamas. You know,
Yeah.
they out there like that, right?
Yeah.
So let me
So,
ask you this though. So
mhm.
during that process, right? Like, how did it make you feel? Just kind of like as a young woman. You know what I'm saying? As
So
far as being in, not really being in the system, but in the system, knowing that your siblings could go in the system if something went wrong.
And you know what's so crazy? I'm glad you asked that because to this day, I've been looking into like getting me a therapist. And some people I know growing up, it's like nobody can help you, and that's how I used to always be. I'm like, nobody can help me with these problems, and that's why growing up, I used to want to fight a lot because I had like this built up anger that I used to always be like, I'm okay and I'm good, but like deep down inside, you're really not good. You're really not good. It's like you fight with it your whole life. Or just trying to ignore it. I think that's what I was trying to do when I was growing up. It was just more so like, I'm good, I'm good. Just telling myself over and over again, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. But deep down inside, you're really not good. So growing up, like to this age, 23, 24, last year and this year, I really just thought like, Desiree, you need to get you a therapist, just somebody where you can just vent to and talk to, right? Because like growing up, I had my big sister, but that was just the sister love and just connected with my sister, but I never really had somebody to vent. And I can't even
Mm,
say that I would have wanted that because when I was younger, once again, I scrambled away from talking to people. It was almost
okay.
like I'm good, I'm good. But I can say, and this is why I tell people, you never know what people go through. Like, how
Mm,
you be at work or you out, you don't know what people have to go home to. So I always tell people, just watch how you treat people and watch how you talk to people, because any moment they can spaz out on you and you're trying to figure out why she was so quiet, she was this, she was that. But you don't
right.
know what people is going through in their head. So that's real big. And if I had to give advice, I would tell anybody, like, just talk to somebody about it,
Mm,
because I held a lot in. Like, I was just so good. Like, I thought I was so good.
right.
Um, it messes with you. And I can say that, like, even growing up, like, I had to grow up so fast. Like, it wasn't a
Mm,
childhood. You know what I mean?
right.
It was
Got it.
almost like ninth, 10th grade. It was done that. Like 11th grade, I was
Mm-hmm.
working as a CNA,
Okay.
going to school. Like, I had to
What?
pay for my own like books, diploma,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Like, so I was an adult in high school.
Mm.
So like,
So how did you manage to even get through that part without even having, we know how it works, right? Most people, they'll have kids, right? Because usually just coming through that type of trauma, okay? Because no matter what, it's trauma, right?
yep.
Just being in that situation and probably just, backgrounds like that. Like, how did you manage to avoid that piece during the time period when you was an early teen?
I think that, what I used to do. I used to write. Like, it's to the point I still have journals at my grandma's house. I used to write when I was mad, crying. I'm talking
Mm,
about writing with tears dropping on the book. But I always used to have something like, I'm gonna be rich by 30 years old. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I used to write these affirmations. Like, so it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Some people, some of my friends back then, like, that's why you always writing, but that really used to help me. So if I didn't talk to anybody, I used to
right.
write it. If I was mad, if I was happy, where I want to be. Um, but the biggest thing was for me when I kept seeing my mom pop out kids, and they were going through almost what me and my sister was going through. It made me like,
Hmm.
Desiree, you cannot let this keep passing. You know what I
Right.
mean? You know how it did you and your sister. To this day, I feel
Mm,
like my sister hold more grudges than me, because she's
okay.
older. She's seen more than me. I remember bits and pieces, but my sister be happen to remind me. So I
Right.
really think like my why. And I tell people, start
Mm,
writing down your why. No, like seriously, not I want to get rich. That's my why. What's your why? What's going to make you hustle? What's going to make you grind? When you feel like you want to give up, what is that why that's gonna be like, you know what, I can't give up. So
Okay.
like the biggest thing for me getting through it was writing to myself, like
Okay.
for real, like writing to myself, because I didn't talk. I didn't really talk to people about it. So
Okay. Okay. Got it. So, when we're gonna take a small little commercial break. Because one, we got that. Shout out to my girl Danielle, just came popped into the room. Don't go nowhere, Danielle. We're gonna jump into this quick commercial break. Woman, the great juice, Juice. You know what I'm saying? When you see it, and we'll come back. We're gonna kind of get into that thing when you transition out of the CNA roles and some of the things that you look forward to. Okay.
What's going on, everybody? This Juice. We out here at the Humble Civic Center. Billionaire Bullet Club, Dog Show, Car Show. We will be here till about 7 o'clock or until supplies run out. Come out and shop with us. We got the best nutritious, delicious, cold fresh juices in the city. Come out here and shop with us.
You better go ahead and get some of that Juice. Like I said, a great commercial shot by my man 3G Vision. You know what I'm saying? He does big work, big things. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, I need to go ahead and shoot my new video about the shop. But that's cool. All right, so Desi, so you said you did the CNA thing, right? Because they had kind of program, kind of like a vocab thing within the school system, right?
right.
Okay, got it. So now, so it's the senior year in 12th grade.
Yep.
What were your thoughts as a 12th grader, and what were you gonna do? Did you think about, okay, now I gotta leave grandma's house? What's my next move? What I'm gonna do? So take me there.
Yeah. So as a senior, like I said, I never felt my classes. I made sure I went to class. So they had this going on. They might be still doing it, where if you had enough credits, you could leave school early.
Okay, they
So
got that right there. Shout out to that right there. Now that's been going on for years. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
okay.
to about 3 classes senior year. You can stop playing. You won't take it away.
So I had enough credit. So I did this thing where I came in school. I think I did first and second period, and then I would go straight to work. I worked as a
Oh,
CNA from 3 to 11. So
oh, you did that nighttime. Okay, got
I
it.
did nighttime. And then I got off at 11, and then I had to go to bed for school, right?
Okay.
But it was a cycle. So 12th grade year, I was in that mindset. You're right, in that mindset of how am I going to get out of grandma's house, and what am I going to do to get out of grandma's house, and am I moving too fast? You know what I mean? Do I
Mm,
slow down and stay a couple years? But the
right.
main thing is so crazy. In school, I used to always say I wanted to be this doctor. Like, so when I heard
Ah,
about CNA, I'm like, maybe I can start as a nurse, work my
mhm.
way up, go to school, college. And I had this, my grandma, shout out to my grandma.
Shout out to again, Miss Johnny. Never stop
Shout
playing.
out to my
I
grandma.
like to remember her name. Don't play with me. Listen, she'll be my grandma for the end of the show. You know, we're gonna shout her out. We ain't got time to be playing. Make sure she watch the video too.
Yes. But she was real big on the original routine. Go to school, go to
Mm-hmm.
elementary, go to middle, go to high, get out of school, go to college, get you a job,
Yeah.
work, be in debt, pay your debt off,
Mm-hmm.
and just live.
The cycle, right? The
The
cycle.
cycle. I
The
call it the
cycle.
cycle.
The cycle. You know what I'm saying? The industrial time period, right? Manufacturing mindset, right? That's what it was, the manufacturing mindset. But go ahead.
So what it was, yeah, I was working at CNA for like 2 to 3 years. So I still didn't move out of grandma's house. I still was at grandma's
Okay.
house.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. And
Um,
shout out to stay there to get your books right. Ain't nothing wrong
yeah,
with that. Grandma had y'all this time. I would stay a couple more years, Grandma.
yeah. I got my first car. I think as soon as I graduated.
What we get? What we get?
Yeah, so I
What you
was
get?
I was happy about that.
What you get?
Um, hmm?
What kind of car?
It was a Pontiac G6.
Okay, shout out to G6. I remember when G6 came out. You know what I'm saying? In fact, this is what I remember. Because 50 Cent, right? He did a video up at his house in Connecticut. And so Pontiac, he did his little endorsement thing for Pontiac. It was a G6. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. So I remember that car. Okay, you was out there doing it then. Okay. You didn't start off small.
I ain't start out small.
Okay, no, you went in there hard. Okay.
I liked my little Pontiac G6. But yeah, like I think after working for a while, I got into this mindset of once again, like I started seeing things like, you know, my big inspiration, like was riding through neighborhoods and I'm seeing these big houses and I'm like what do they do for a living? I
Oh,
just
come
start
on now, girl. You my little sister. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you because you sound like
what do
me.
they do for a living? Because I start getting this mindset of if they can do it, I can do it. I'm just trying to figure out what am I missing here? Because you're not too far, and I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care about none of that. You can do the same thing they're doing. It's just we're missing the pieces. We're missing the information. So, like, yeah, like it was to the point I used to tell my friends, like, I want to go knock on the door and ask them what they doing, and people like, Desiree, no folks is gonna shoot you, or no folks gonna call the police, but it just really opened my eyes that somebody can actually live like that. Like, and I think that what popped the bubble. I'm like, you know what? I did go to college. I went to 2 colleges.
Okay, what we do now? So you graduated. Where'd you go?
Now I went to Brown Mackey College. It was a private school for OTA, which is
come on now. All right, OT school. Okay, got it.
Okay, I dropped out.
And I want to shout out to the driver out because Kanye did it too.
I dropped out. I said, you know what? This is not for me. This is not for me.
Ain't for everybody.
And then I went back to school for business administration. So
shout
I felt
damn
like
BA. You had to stop playing with the BA now.
Come on. So I felt like you had to go to school for business. But you know what I found out?
What you found out?
You don't got to go to school for business because I had to ask myself, the professor is teaching you about business, but he's working for somebody.
He's working for somebody.
So it's not making sense.
You a little too smart. You've been a little too smart now. See, you being a little too smart. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, keep going. I'm ad-libbing. Go ahead.
It wasn't making sense.
I'm your hype man. Don't play with me.
So the next thing I thought about, you know what? But I graduated. I got my associates in business. Business management or business administration. I forgot which one it was. And I took that degree. I still have the degree. I never worked with a degree. They taught me little things about your net sales and, stuff, what you take home and what's with tax, stuff like that. So it was helpful, right?
For that company.
Mind you, I think at 21, I start serving. I start serving at 18. Oh, I dropped the CNA.
Come on now. Left that alone.
I left that alone.
Left the bad pans alone. I'm not doing no more bad
And you know why I had to leave it on? I had to leave it alone because it really, 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 but my whole life, I love helping people. But it really hurt my soul when you come in the next day for work and one of your patients is gone. Like,
it's gone, right?
It was like it was to the point where I had too much emotion in it. To where like I was sad with the family, and I remember this like yesterday. Her name was Miss Klondike or something like that. Miss Klondia or Miss Klondike. She literally, before she died, she left me a pair of earrings, a card she wrote the night before. It was sad. Ooh. I had to let it go. I had to let it go. But I moved on to serving. So if like anybody knows, serving is you make that daily money, you up out of there. Right. So I liked it that. I was like, okay, I can
because there was no attachment. It was no attachment to anything.
I was always good with talking to people. I was always good with making somebody else smile. I was always good with serving people.
Okay.
So serving came to me naturally. Like people even when I was serving, people was like, what are you doing here? Like, I see so much in you more than just serving. And like people were saying stuff in me. I'm like, okay, you know what? Do I need to rethink this? Like, I was like, okay, like just the way you talk and stuff like that. Like people was just telling me all type of stuff. So I start getting to the room. So when people ask me, Desiree, what do you mean by getting into the rooms? I start paying.
Ooh, come on, hold on, stop right there. I told you too smart, girl. Hold on, time out. No, you not. You listen, girl. You a visionary. I'm telling you, you're a visionary. Even when you were talking about when you were younger, you know what I'm saying, looking at your grade school alumni. right? Your friends, right? As far as you understanding that when you got a little older toward, you know what I'm saying, high school, stuff like that. But the fact that you just said out your mouth, the rooms, you were recognizing that, even at your age now, you talk about rooms. I mean, just the fact, still you was 18 thinking about it, but come on now, that's not a common thing. Trust me, I'll be around grown people who don't understand the rooms. But go ahead, because you in there. Shout out to you understanding the rooms. And that you were looking at them at 18.
Yeah. And even before I actually started getting into the rooms and stuff, I was a general manager at Juicy Crab, and this was the icing for me.
The Juicy Crab.
Yes, I think it was like 2021. 2021.
Girl, you don't know nothing about no Juicy Crab. You don't know nothing about Juicy
Crab.
Crab.
McDonough, y'all could, to this day, I'm telling you, if you are in Georgia, if you step in there, you say, dang, Desiree don't work here no more. Y'all remember Desiree?
Come on now.
Everybody remember.
You was up in the Juicy?
I was
man. Crab. Come on now.
And then let me tell you how I know this was the icing for me. I was serving they're Chinese. I was serving for them, and the manager walked up to me, the owner, not the manager. He was like, he wanted to have a meeting with me. So I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the owner wants. So we sat down, and he was like, have you managed before? I said, no, I haven't managed before. He was just like, your skills, like, have you ever thought about managing? And I'm like, never thought about it, but I would love the experience up under my belt. Now I'm 2021. So I'm like, yes, I would love the experience up under my belt. So he started me off as a manager. And the things I was learning as a manager, I was picking up so fast. To the point he asked me to open up a store in Alabama and Mississippi. Ooh. Shout out to Hattiesburg and shout out to Alabama.
Come on now, hold up now. Stores. You open up stores?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
At that age?
At that age.
You was opening up stores. Ron, you're managing. Well, you're opening up stores. Go ahead, keep talking, girl.
Yep. So he upgraded me because I think the general manager that was here in Georgia, he sent off to Alabama. So he needed a general manager for Georgia. So he just, asked me, did I want to become a general manager? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. As long as you pay me more, I'm cool with that. Right. But shouts out to that position and shout out to Juicy Crab because they taught me so much as far as like making deposits, doing schedules, like the back end of a business.
The back end period.
The back end.
The business. Listen, the business side.
Payroll. Like all this. I'm like, okay, and this is so once again, my brain is like a sponge. So anything I learn, I'm just soaking up. Interviews, like everything back end as a business. I took that same stuff I learned and just started my business. Like it was just like, and it's so crazy you say that because it was like a line effect. I did the CNA, you know what I mean? I went to school for business administration. I got out of school. I didn't work in it. I went to serving. I went from a server to a manager to a general manager. So like it was like everything was in a time that was just so crazy.
I know, right? But even as you were CNA, right, and even going back to the time, well, let's go back a little bit further, right? So even in your fighting days, right, when you put them hands on people, one, it was about observation. You had to observe, right? Because you had to know when to throw that hook on, right? Then you became playing basketball. What you had to do, you had to observe as well, right? You observe and learn when to move, when not to move. When you were CNA, that's definitely about observation, right? Because one, it's about care and paying attention to the people, knowing how to really look and listen without people even talking. You know what I'm saying? Learning body movement, stuff like that. Then you went to serving, right? So you're doing that piece right there. Boom, you in and out. Boom, boom, boom. Customer service, okay? Now you go into the Juicy and you're doing these things. Now you're really just putting all those skills together. And so now you're learning back office, business, stuff like that. And I tell anybody, if people have an opportunity to run, I ain't talking about work at, to run a restaurant or a hotel, those two will prepare you for any business in the world. If you learn how to run and operate those things independently, that you could run them, because you're going to learn to understand back office to the end. You're going to understand payroll to the depths. You're going to understand customer service in both of those fields. Which, if you can do those things, you will understand business. It don't matter what business it is. You could go run any business. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have this thing where I tell people, I say, I have a statement I say, ain't too many people can out business me. Right? And I don't care what it is. I don't care what type of business. You can have a potato business. I don't care. I don't have to know about potatoes. But the business aspect, right? Because who runs hospitals? A business person.
Right.
It's not a doctor. It's nobody. It's a business person because it's a business. But go ahead. Okay. So now you decide, hey, this is the time for me to roll up out of here, right? So what was something that you did, or what was it that you did, and what day was that you did it?
Let's see. I want to say, what year was it? 20. I think I made my first LLC in 2019.
And you figured it out on your own, or you got it from somebody?
I actually paid a company to do my first LLC.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think, man. I used to do so much. I'm just trying not to miss nothing from y'all for you all. But yeah, okay. I started my LLC in 2019, and it was the vending machine company.
Okay, vending machine. And why vending machine?
I did vending machine because that's actually something that I want to pass down to my siblings. So a lot of people ask me like, dang, that's right. Why vending machine, right? The reason I did vending machine because it was not a quick business, but a simple business to start. Okay. And I always tell people, if anything comes to you easily or fast, you don't want it, right? But things should be simple. And that's two different things. People have to understand that a business is not easy, but it could be simple. But I chose vending machine because when I bought this ebook, I think her name was Danielle. I bought this ebook, and it was simple. I'm reading the ebook like, okay, find the location. Okay, buy you a vending machine. Okay, buy your snacks. Okay, I can do this. I can do
How much was that?
The vending machine or the ebook?
No, the ebook.
It was like $37.
$37. Shout out 37. Easy $37 she ever made.
$37. I said. So
oh Lord!
And it's so crazy.
Shout out to the damn ebook. That's all I gotta say. Shout out to the
ebook. Shout out to the ebook. I always tell people too. I had a hard time until last year. It's real big, you all, that we find a niche, right? So people like, because I was the person who wanted to do everything. Like I had so many great ideas, but I didn't execute on every idea because you're trying to put your time and your energy into all these ideas. So it's very important, you all, that we find a niche, scale that niche, and then that same niche can, fund the next business venture or whatever the case may be. But I had to learn, like Desiree, focus on one. Because I was everywhere. I was a little bit everywhere. I'm like, I want to do this. I want to do trucking company. I want to do this. I was everywhere. I was just taking classes to the point that I was taking so many classes, or I was buying so many people courses and stuff. I couldn't even like soak it all up. It was like, what do you want to do? So I had to like sit down, right? I was still serving. I never let serving go. I think I did general manager for like a year and a half, 2 years. I let the general manager thing go. He didn't want to pay me no more. So I'm like, bump this. I'm going to go back to serving. But I never let serving go. So I used to always serve. And I tell people the reason I like serving, I work 2-3 days out the week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you might get it Saturday and Sunday. So that means Monday through Thursday, I could focus on my business. I could actually sit down and give some time towards my business. Because I tell people a full 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, you don't really have that much time. You're putting your time into that 9 to 5. So serving, once again, I left with that daily money, but it also gave me that time through the week to figure out, what do you want to do, Desiree? I ran into vending machine and I said, you know what? This can be a passive income. Okay. That will bring me money and that will be on top of my serving money. So that was my first thought. Was passive income.
Okay, got it. So the vending machine at $39.99 got you. Started location. Okay, got stuff right there. I just be pick. I'm picking at you. I'll be laughing on some of these ebooks, but they be making money off of them. Well, listen, You say about 1,000 ebooks at $39 a piece, man. Look, come on
That'll
now.
do it.
That's a quick 39,000. You know what I'm saying? It's a quick 39,000 on people. You just gotta have a plan, quick plan, right? All right, so because that's a great passive income. But but okay, so you do the vending machine. Was it just in a short term? Was it a gold mine for you at that moment, or was it something that you learned some lessons, some hard lessons?
I definitely learned as I go. Like the ebook was helpful. I think I did her little mentorship that was helpful. But you still, when you're in the field, I always tell people, when you're in the field, it's not gonna go the way she teach you, or it's not gonna go how you think it's gonna go every day. You're still, once again, as a business owner, if you do not know how to solve problems, it's not for you.
Okay, got it.
I just feel like you got to know how to solve problems. Back to just like you said, Juicy Crab manager. When them customers was upset, you got to go up there. You got to make them smile. You got to. I don't care if you're talking about a discount for the next time you come. I don't care if you walked up and said your blouses. They were just angry. But when you leave, that's that customer service. Right. You know what I mean? So as I went through, I had my own hiccups. I ran to a situation where my calls stopped working. I ran to a situation where my change thing wasn't working, and that wasn't in the ebook. You know what I mean? It's almost like you just gotta get out there in the field and learn.
Right.
So I really, like I said, I started that business up for my little brothers and sisters. To the point, summertime, I was working them like, let's go. We're going to sounds. I was teaching them. This is real big. I was teaching them. We're buying these chips for whatever. Per chip is 23 cents. So you need to always double your profit, right? So I would teach them like, okay, what are we going to do this time? What should I sell it for, right? I got a 60-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 8 and a 9, right? So they're right by each other. They got, all of them got good common sense. So I would just go in sounds. I would act so crazy. I'm like, what should I sell this for? Like, and they're like, girl, you should sell it for this so you get double, right? But that would actually just like put a smile on my face because they're actually listening to me. They actually getting it down and stuff like that. So that's the first thing I did. I took them through sales. I helped them understand what's a profit, and if you're not making a profit, and if you sell it for this, that you're not making a profit. If you double this, then you're making a profit. So I broke that down to them first, and then it was time to restock the vending machines. I would have them restock the machines. I'd just be standing in the back like, you think that's right? All right, lock the machine. Like, I will just guide them, but let them do it. So I did it for them, man. I did it for them.
Well, damn, shout out to you for that right there, girl. Look at you serving and teaching your siblings. You know what I'm saying, about business and how to handle that thing. Okay, all right. So the vending machine was the first thing. Okay, so what came after that, and why did you choose to go do something else?
It was my nanny agency, I believe.
Okay, let's talk about that. So now, because you already kind of your CNA background, you already had that piece right there. So you know, caring for people, getting people to care for people. So how did that come about?
With my CNA, not CNA, with the nurse and with the nanny agency. First thing I had to get, because it expired as a CNA, so I had to re-get my certificates. I had to re-get my first aid. I had to re-get I had to go take this mini course online for my CDA. Just to be around kids. It was a couple things that you gotta, have before you can get started. But through the gate, like I said, I love helping people. So I felt like an old person, when you get to a certain age, you're like a baby again.
True.
They can't turn. Some of them can't, So it was just basically watching a grown child, like a bigger child. But anyway, and I forgot to mention, back then, I used to work at the daycare too. Like that's what I'm saying. I used to do so much stuff I don't even know, right?
So you just working. You were working, staying busy,
right? But and I tell people just a note on that. I tell people, any job you do, take something from it. Take something from it, because somebody once told me you can choose your business by your background, or you can choose what you want to do as far as a business by your background. What were you good at when you used to work and stuff like that? But to sum it up, I started in that nanny agency, and I think I got a few parents. So let me tell you what I used to do. I shout out to the Sugar Factory. I used to work at the
Sugar Factory.
Shout out to the Sugar Factory. So I used to literally, right, when I used to have tables that had kids that was running around and the mom like sit down like 20 times, I used to drop when I catch them, I used to drop them off and I used to drop the card off like, hey, I also do a nanny agency on the side. I watch kids, I do transportation, boo boo boo. So the moms would just be like, I've been looking for a nanny. I'm going to contact you. So you all my customers, majority of all my customers came from serving these tables. It's
all
crazy.
Right there. All right there. Your customers for everything were right there.
Right there. And then all it takes, y'all, is word of mouth. So next, they will tell their neighbor and they will tell their neighbor. So I grew to the point where I couldn't watch all the kids. It was like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to go over here to walk the dog for 2 hours. I was doing animals. Like, it doesn't have to be your child. It can be you might just can't go walk your dog because you're at work. So I will go walk your dog for 2 hours. It didn't matter, right? But it started to get to the point where I couldn't do it and serve. So mind y'all, I want y'all to keep in mind that I was still serving. Like, I was still trying to make the daily money, but also scale my businesses. So I started to hire. I went on to Indeed. I went on to Facebook. I started getting into the nanny groups. People were saying, hey, I'm out of college. I'm looking for a nanny job. I have my CPR certification. I had my first day. So I would just DM them like, hey, how you doing? I write me up a contract, of course, and things of that nature. And I hired 2 nannies. And I would pay them more. And what I found out too is, so say if the mom, prime example, y'all, say if the mom is paying you $450 a week or whatever, don't even think about the hours, $450 a week, I would pay my nannies majority of that $450 because they're the ones who actually going onto the field and, you know, things of that nature. So out of that $450, I would pay them $350. So I would take the $150 and keep it moving, right? Because I was not there anymore. I wasn't in the field anymore, things of that nature. But eventually I let the nanny agency die down. Like, I didn't scale anymore. I didn't find any moms. I didn't, you know, so I just let that stay where it is. To this day, I still have 2 moms permanently. Come on now. I just haven't scaled it. I haven't scaled it to where it's like.
But it's passive money that comes in. It does something. It's passive money that comes in and do something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Girl, you doing your thing, hustling. Every day you hustling. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna bring me into my, you know what I'm saying, another commercial break real quick. You know what I'm saying? You know, wet your whistle or whatever. We're gonna get this Jaw Juice on in.
What's going on, everybody? This Jaw Juice. We out here at the Humble Civic Center, Billionaire Bullet Club, dog show, car show. We will be here till about 7 o'clock or until the supplies run out. Come out and shop with us. We got the best nutritious, delicious, cold pressed juices in the city. Enjoy your day. Come out and shop.
Act like this right here ain't no great production up in here. You know what I'm saying? We got commercials and everything. Listen, boy, I got people sending commercials in. You know what I'm saying? So my show, you know, we about to be popping. Our commercial game about to be strong out here. It's about advertising, pushing people's businesses out here, and this is just another way to do it so I can have them tell their story versus me saying it. You know, it's easy for me to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? You need to get this, you know, beard or whatever. But to have a commercial for somebody in their business, I think that just kind of pushes it over a little more, a little better, right? You know, just one of those things. But okay, so now, so you're doing those things right there. So what about at this point? You're saying, okay, I want some more. But what did you do next?
The next thing I did was, it's crazy. Pay for another course, right?
Okay, shout out to the damn courses now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the damn courses. The damn courses, they winning.
When people ask me, how do you know, a good coach? How do you know to choose a good business coach? And I always say they had to get in the field themselves. I paid so many courses. I went into so many rooms. I learned I'm talking about Zoom calls. I'm talking about mentorships. I'm talking about ebooks. Like, if you name it, I paid for it all, right? But the icing on the cake for me is when I ran into a guy. Once I always run into people. It's crazy.
Right.
Serving. So he said, what do you do? And I was just telling him, like, I do vending machine. I was happy too. I'm like, I do vending machine. I do like nannies. Sometimes I help out. I help people watch their kids stuff. He was like, have you heard about business credit? And I'm just like, no, I heard about personal credit. Like, I thought this was like a trick question. I'm like, no, but I know about personal credit, whatever. He was like, here's my card. I want you to just join my live tonight. It's free. Just tell me how you like about the business credit. Okay. I joined the live, and I was like, the information that he was dropping, I'm like, you could do this.
Hadn't heard it before.
Haven't heard it before. Haven't heard it before. That is so crazy. Haven't heard it before. Say that one more time, because I haven't heard that since high school to all my jobs. I haven't heard anybody talk about business credit. That's so crazy. But anyway, hopped onto his live, and the notes that I got from his live, I was like, this is crazy. So I DM'd him like, what do you offer? Do you have a course? Like, I want to learn more about it.
Because we know you would take a course on them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Desi would take that course now. She had about a good $35,000 in courses over 2 years.
No, for real. For real, to the point my friends just be like, if you pay for one more course, I'm like, I know y'all, but this was gonna be this was gonna be it. Like, I just felt like, and I go with this saying, because when you pay attention. And I always tell people, when you pay for something, you pay attention. You know why? Because it's your hard-earned working money. So you're gonna sit on that Zoom, you're gonna sit in that class, and you're gonna pay attention. Because you don't spend your money. So, like, everything I paid for, best believe I paid attention. So, it was the business credit for me. And how much, so many things you could do with business credit, and learning that it's separate from your personal credit. It was just crazy. So I took that, and then that was the icing for me. Not only, I tell people this all the time. Before I teach something, I'm real big on this. I will not teach anything that I have not did before.
And that's why I started following you and paying attention to you.
I'm just not doing it.
Because you were doing things, you were learning stuff or whatever, and you were doing it though. So that's the thing that connected me to you.
Yes. Like, I'm so big on that, because I see so many business coaches who talk about business credit. Do your thing, right? But if I ask you to pull your business credit scores, you don't have them, right? So you're only teaching.
Come on now, hold up. There's you dropping, you doing you throwing dart shots or whatever you want to call that thing right now. That's what you just did now. You trying to smooth by that thing, but you know you get through one, right?
Like, it's important.
You know you threw one, right?
I threw one. It's important, and I really want to anybody that's listening. I don't care if you learn from me or anybody, right? Always make sure that your coach have experience and they're doing what they're telling you to do. They're doing what they're promoting. They're doing that's just the biggest thing, right? But for me, once again, I learned business credit on the back end. I took that same information. I built business credit on all my business. I'm working on my third business credit now. But it was to the point where I will post my results, like my gas cards, and people will be DMing me like, how did you do that? What is that? How did you get that? So it made me think, like, I never thought about teaching business credit. Never. It was something that I learned. I was going to tell my friends. I was going to tell my family. And we was going to grow. But it was there too. It was like, Desiree, teach this.
Right.
So that's when I started getting all those DMs and stuff. I said, you know what? Teach it, Desiree. You're a good teacher. You know how to communicate with people. I'm bringing in all my skills. You know how to talk to people. You know how to communicate. People love your energy. I'm talking about, I go to tables for less than 30 minutes. And people are coming back to sit with me and remembering me. Sometimes I don't even remember some people's face, but they remember me. So it almost like that's where you have something to where once again goes back to helping people. Like that was just a passion for me. So when I learned business credit, when I start building business credit, when I post my results and people was asking me, I was just giving at first I was just giving the information out for free. I'm like, you know what? And I still do to this day. You hop on my page, any live, any content,
Right.
you could be able to build your first tier just off my page.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
like,
definitely.
free information is good as well. But as a business, and I always tell people, as a business, you're in business to make money. So you
Right.
have to make it make sense as well. But that's when I hopped into like, that's right, become a coach, teach this. People want to know, and I'm young. So I would love to teach my generation. I would love to teach the ones just coming out of high school that you don't have to go to college. Do not get me wrong. Go to college, you want to be a lawyer. Go to college, you want to be a doctor, an anesthesia. Go for something big. You gonna go to college? Go for something big. Don't be in debt for something to get out of school and
Come
you
on
do
now.
not even work in the field.
She said it. She said
Don't
it.
waste your money. I'd rather you pay for a course than go to college.
Cause she sure
Period.
would recommend you pay for a course. Shout out to Desi because she gonna go to a course now. The course game is strong. You know, look at her course resume. You know what I'm saying? In fact, don't even take a course. Just call this DM, follow her on Instagram, and just ask her, "Did you take this course?" She probably can take it.
Serious,
Yeah.
man.
You know what I'm
So
saying? She probably send you the cliff notes. Tell you don't
come
waste
on
your time.
now. For
You know what I'm
real,
saying?
man. So
Okay. All right. So you jumped in the Zoom, his class, or whatever, and you said you took like copious notes and just made sure like the information that you had, you could take something from that. But you said you reached back out to him and asked what he provided and stuff like that. So did he become a mentor to you, or did he become
yes,
somebody that really kind of helped you
um
scale?
he had a mentorship where I think it was for 60 or 90 days and it was nothing but information, nothing but information. Of course, you had videos in between. He would
Mm-hmm.
meet with us like once a week, you know what I mean? But like if you didn't meet with him, he still had courses where you can go back and rewatch and keep replaying
Mm-hmm.
and things of that nature. But and then I even did the due diligence as well to Google. You know what I mean? Y'all,
Mm.
we always want to go on Google, start Googling the right stuff. You know what I mean? But
Mm. Say it again.
yeah, yeah. Make sure y'all Googling
Google
the
the
right stuff.
right stuff.
Yeah, so
Mm.
I started to Google what's a DUNS number, and just even though he had the information, I'm checking behind him. And I always tell people as a coach, I don't care what I say on live, get off my live, go on Google and make sure the information I said is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Go behind me, because I'm gonna go
Mm.
behind you. So I got on Google. I'm like, what's a DUNS number? What can you do with business credit? And everything that he was saying was just popping up. I'm like, okay, you could do. Okay, okay. So, and that's just how I felt. So, yeah, I took his mentorship. I got done with his mentorship. I went right into rolling. I wanted to get my hands dirty. I start building my own business credit. I said, you know what?
Right.
I'm going to take, and guess what y'all need to understand? I learned this to document your process. What do you mean, Desiree?
Mm.
From the time you was making calls, from the time what did you put on your application? When you called, did you press 2? Did you press 1? Document your progress. Is very, very important because that's exactly how I teached it, right? That's exactly
Mm.
how I teach it. I said, what's a net 30, right? When I learned out what a net 30 is, I wrote it down. I wrote it into something that I was able to understand. And everybody learns different too. That's why so many
Mm-hmm.
different coaches out here, because everybody learns different.
Right.
So that was important to me. But I documented my process, like through the whole time of building business credit. I documented when my name was spelled, when my business name was spelled wrong. What did I have to do? I had to get
Right.
disputed. Okay, who did you have to email? Like I documented the whole process before I start
Mm.
teaching people
Mm.
how to build business credit.
Come on now.
That's what I did.
You went down in the trenches, and that's what I say, kind of like with me and this other fella I know. Shout out to my boy Dron Ham. He used to play for the 49ers up there in Dallas doing his thing, whatever. We kind of got into the trucking business at the same time, right? And so we went through the school of what I call hard knocks. And self-inflicted, we did it on purpose. We went and learned through the gauntlet. so we could learn and write these things down to understand the business behind the business. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so, which was great. It was very helpful because one, though it may help me, unless the person has the application in them, my result won't be their result.
Facts.
You have to have the application. You can't say, okay, well, I got the money, so I should have the same result as you. Like, no, that doesn't make, just because you got the money doesn't mean you're gonna have the same result. If you don't have the same application, if you don't have the understanding that, you know what, it takes this, and that might be all of it. You know what I'm saying? If you like, well, no, I don't want to do this or this, I do a little bit of it, it's not gonna work for you.
It's
You
not
know,
gonna work.
what those results are not gonna happen. I ain't gonna say they're gonna work for you, but you won't get those results because you don't have the application to it. And that's something you and I kind of talked about before we started the show. Just understanding that everybody's not an entrepreneur. People
Yep.
have entrepreneur spirits, and people not have entrepreneur ways, but they're just not entrepreneurs. They can be business people. They can be business people that work for people. You know what I'm saying? They're they're people that make millions of dollars working for companies because they're
Yep.
good business people. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be a good corporate. You know, people think, well, I'm a high corporate stuff, and that's good. That's good. But you know, the conversation is probably a little different between that high business corporate person and an entrepreneur
Yep.
at whatever level. Because the thing about entrepreneur, the beautiful thing about it is entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs. There's no level of entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? They all respect each other because they understand that, you know, you have that eye, you have that mind of being an entrepreneur. And whether they're making billions of dollars or where you just trying to make 100 at this point, you know, they understand where you came from, and they respect that. So it's a commonality that people have in this. Okay, so now you got into the whole business credit thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, with your own business, and so was it one of those things that's like, man, because you know you see so many people do it with their personal, do their companies with their personal, and then kill their whole personal life. Like, why do you really go toward the business credit? Because and you do it so well because there's so many people out here the personal credit gurus and all the stuff like that, and then they'll blend off into business credit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because they know people typically want to do that stuff right there, but you really hone on business credit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I like you in this aspect because it's kind of like, you know, you have become the SME in this. You are that subject matter expert that really knows this thing. And so, why did you do that?
When I start, it's so crazy you say that. When I start to Google the question of why most businesses fail, it's funds. And is you get some that starts off good. They max out their personal credit, so they probably got a business loan, they probably got credit cards they maxed out. And you know, sometimes your business don't jump in that first year. Sometimes your business don't jump in that second year. So you gotta have that shoulder to lean on while you're upcoming, right? And if you don't have that shoulder to lean on, that's when you give up. That's when you like, you know what, this not for me. My credit score done went from a 700 to a 490 because once again, you use your personal credit to fund your business, or some people use their savings to fund their business. But once that savings run out, what are you going to do if your business is not going as planned? Everybody, you know, hope and pray when they start a business that you make that income. It comes back to you, but sometimes it's not as fast as, once again, you all. I had to learn too growing up, like, everything's not gonna come fast. Everything is not gonna, you could plan it out to the T, but it's always gonna be a hump. It's always gonna be a hiccup, and you gotta know how to get over that hump and keep moving. And a lot of people see that first hump and give up. And that first hump is you maxed out your personal credit. You gave all your savings. What do? People just go back to their 9 to 5. So the reason why I'm solely, and I tell people too, work on your personal credit. Don't ever think that you can get this A1 business credit and your personal credit is slacking. You need both, right? But see, in my generation, for sure, they don't know about business credit. So that's what made me go so hard, because just like you said, it's personal gurus already. That's not personal credit, is not my lane. but I do have tips and tricks. Like, I can't fix your personal credit, right? But I do have somebody that I can send you to. I do have tips and tricks how you can get hard inquiries off and things of that nature, right? But that's not something that hit my soul. What really hit my soul was business credit. And how many years they hid this from us. It's already bad enough that they don't teach us personal credit. We go to school and I'm trying to figure out, we didn't even have a class for personal credit. Y'all are talking about y'all getting us ready for the real world, but y'all are getting us ready for failure, if you ask me. Because you get out here and then you're lost. And then they want you to go into this system. And let me not anybody who works a 9 to 5, because like I keep saying, I go to work every day. And as long as you have that mentality of, I'm getting out this 9 to 5. I'm doing this to get out this 9 to 5. You're not stuck because you know your end goal. So that's the biggest thing to me. Make an end goal. And don't worry about where you at today, but actually take steps towards your end goal. But business credit really hit me because it's like, they don't want us to know. They don't want us to know. To the point, they are changing their requirements, like little things of building business credit, because too many of us are learning about. First of all, I think one white guy, told me one time on some real, he said, you know what? Y'all are years behind. You know why we years behind? I'm talking about.
I know, I'm sorry, because it's somebody I talk to about this all the time. I tell them when they see us doing something a whole bunch, like, yo, we so far behind in that already. They about to flip the game on us.
To the point where they almost like, we walk up the one like, you learn something, they looking at us like, yeah, my mom taught me that when I was like 13, you know? To the point, our families, and let me tell you why I don't have kids yet, because I'm going to set them up to the T. To the point where y'all don't understand that your child's supposed to have a life insurance policy when they come out your womb. To the point, your child is supposed to be on your credit cards as authorized user at 16, 15 years old. Like, we're set up all wrong. Like, it really gives me chills, the way we was raised and the way our parents and grandparents was raised. Like, they set us up.
I can't blame them because it was their system.
I got it.
You know what I'm saying? They fell up underneath something, a system.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so the researchability wasn't there. Being able to go to certain places like libraries, that wasn't available. You get what I'm saying? Certain books were hidden. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm gonna go back to my generation, right? When we were straight books, right? And you would see in the back of the book, because you had to sign for your books, right? And there would be this card back there. And you would see some of your cousins had your book, and they had been out of school. They've been out of school for 10 years. We were proud to get certain people's books. You know what I'm saying? Because that person was popular back when we was in elementary and they were in high school. So now you're in 11th grade and you're like, oh man, I got so-and-so book. You know, you remember that person back when you was in the 6th grade, right?
Right.
I'm not thinking, what edition? That edition hadn't changed, right? So you still on 3rd edition of that book, and you wonder why somebody that's in the same grade as you, they're on the book that's the 12th edition, but you on the 2nd or 3rd edition. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder why your book cover is different than that person's book cover is, but you're in the same grade. Well, they're learning something that you couldn't learn, right? Then they started this thing called the A club, A group, or whatever, something like that, right? The smart people, you know, that further separation, right?
Right.
So I had this, and I'll tell you this real quick. So I had this class called civics, right? And so in 9th grade, I was in this class. I was the only person who looked like me in this class. And not saying I was just a smart guy or nothing, but I was the only one who looked like myself in this class.
Right.
And teacher was named Mr. Gribble, and he was teaching civics economics, right? And so, you know, I loved the class for whatever reason. And, you know, I just kind of settled it. And I loved it because I love talking about business aspects, strategy, stuff like that. And so my friends, I play basketball. So some of my friends, they were in the same grade, but they was in this other class that was a government class, but their book wasn't like mine. And I was like, hold up. I'll look at it. It was just a different edition, right? But the edition was about 7 editions forward than theirs. So think about it. it was, they wasn't on an even keel at that point because you're learning something here and then they're learning something here. So by the time we go take the SAT, you got to understand, I'm going to understand things a little more than they're going to understand. So it's not that my friends were getting a lower score on SAT. It's just they didn't learn certain things. Yep. So where I may have learned math when I was in the 7th or 8th grade, right? They and built upon that. They've learned the math in the 11th or 12th grade, and they don't have the grasp on formulas and understanding and stuff like that, right?
Makes sense.
So it just kind of speaks into what you're saying as far as, when you're talking to this young man and he's saying that, hey, my parents taught me that, when I was younger, because this is the thing. And so when we see stuff, even like these labs and these academies, these little labs and after school coding, stuff like that, and we rather let the kid play, on the street or something like that, versus spending this money so they can be in these coding classes where we look like, oh, they're just playing video games. Yeah, okay. They're teaching them through video games. They're teaching them to build code to do that because it's a bigger picture that they're going to pull them into, that you have to understand, i.e. stuff like the metaverse and stuff like that. The kids are running that. They have the mind for that, right? And so we have to kind of grasp ourselves and make sure we get on that. So, it's sad, but let me run ahead commercial break real quick. And, because, I'm just trying to prepare for this whole commercial situation that's about to jump off here on 5Cash.
I like
what's going on, everybody? This Jajuice. We out here at the Humble Civic Center, Billionaire Bullet Club, dog show, car show. We will be here till about 7 o'clock or until supplies run out. Come out and shop with us. We got the best nutritious, delicious, cold fresh juices in the city. Out here and shop with us at Humble Civic Center. I know it's a little rainy, but it's covered, and you can still get in, get you some cold juices, check out some dope dogs, some fly cars. Enjoy your day. Come out and shop.
Hi there. Shout out to Jajuice, my boy 3G Vision. Once again, if you're just tuning in right now, we talking to my girl, Desi out there, the big ATL doing her thing, making things happen. And right now, before the break, we were just talking about just where we probably have fallen in on the whole business credit aspect and things and why she really dug into business credit. So if you can go ahead and continue, Desi, I'm saying I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, and you made a very valid point, That's why I don't blame my grandma for, taking the steps where she told me to go, because that's what her mom taught her and things of that nature. But I ran into this guy. He was like, it was almost like a joke to him. He was like, yeah, like we're like decades ahead of y'all. And I didn't know to take it as an insult or to take it and actually think on it. So I walked away from the table. I went to the back. I was like, that's crazy. I went home and everything. I was just like sitting on this. Like the way he said it to me was like, he was confident too. So it just made me, just start researching some things and things of that nature. But it's true. Like they're like 10 years, 20 years ahead of us. So like when we're learning something, they already done passed it down to 2 generations. You know what I mean? So it just made me open my eyes. And like I said, especially for my age group, it's real big that I'm talking to the ones that's getting out of high school, and know that you have that business mindset, and you know, you don't want to be that doctor, you don't want to be that lawyer, you don't want to be that judge, but you want to do something. That's who I'm talking to. And that's what really made me, hit the gun with it, because it's like, Desiree, you young. Not only can you reach the young people, but you also can reach entrepreneurs that been in business for 10, 15 years.
Because entrepreneurship doesn't have an age to it.
It don't have an age.
Entrepreneurship does not have an age.
So like it was big to me. Then I run into people like, I've been in business for 7 years and haven't heard about business credit. And it's like, what? That's what made me go so hard about it, because I feel like with personal credit, it's out here. Personal credit's out here.
Yeah.
You can get your credit fixed. You can, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that
But like
white
business,
scrub, deleted,
yeah, like business credit is not
frozen.
hitting. It's not hitting how it's supposed to be hitting. I'm dead.
No. Because but it's good. It's good to make sure that stuff is straight. But if you're gonna build on something, you know what I'm saying, and as we'll continue to get into the whole business credit aspect of things, why? Because one, people understand the amounts that can be gained, you know what I'm saying, by having your stuff structured properly. And that's one thing I know you do hit hard on.
I hit real hard on your structure, because I tell people, I don't care if you don't build business credit. I don't care if you never leverage your business credit. If you don't get one thing from me, if you're going to get how to structure your business. A structured business will take you a long way without even building business credit. Having your business properly structured, and you're showing as a because I need people to understand. I get people in my DM all the time. Well, I just started 3 months ago. I don't care. Structure your business as if you are already a multi-billion-dollar company, because guess what? That's your end goal. Like I just went back. Make sure that you're taking steps towards your end goal. It has to all make sense. It has to all make sense. So I don't care if you started a month ago, a day ago. Structure your business correctly. Them years gonna add up. We're not worried about that. We're worried about
Because time is gonna go by.
If you're credible to these lenders, if you're credible, when you're going there for funding, it's important, y'all. They laugh at half of us because we are using Gmails. You're talking about you a business and you have a Gmail. Like, that's why I go so hard on business structure, because forget the business credit. You don't got to build it. Okay, cool. You don't have to build it. You could you could personally guarantee a business loan with your personal credit. But once again, you know what you do need is a business structure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I go so hard on business structure. But that same business structure falls into business credit.
Okay. All right, got it. All right. So as you into the business structure, I mean the business credit stuff like that. Now, a hot topic and a hot thing. I'm sure this is where we're gonna get a lot of meat and potatoes at. People are gonna be swiping and recording and getting this portion of this interview here is people are jumping into this Airbnb game, right? And there's 1,000 Airbnb gurus out here, right?
Right.
1,000 of them, but nobody's talking about it in the way that you're talking about it. And when I say openly talking about it, because one, they got a big course bottled up in it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go in these high-rise places and go look at places. Oh, I'm gonna record this right here. We're gonna record this right here. Yeah, I got 5 of these. I got 15 of these right here. Like, okay. I'm not saying they don't have 5, 15, 20, 30, whatever. I'm not saying they ain't have that, but I'm gonna say that a lot of them don't have it. But just keep it real. They don't have it. But getting into this thing with your business credit, how is that possible?
To break it down, number one, a structured business. So Desiree, people like Desiree, what's a structured business? Let me give y'all a rundown real quick, because I'm all about dropping gems. It's a couple of things you need to have a structured business to be a credible business, right? So your business name. I need y'all to understand. Stop putting your business in your business name. What do you mean by that, Desiree? Stop putting what you do in your business name. Your business name should be general, right? So I don't care if it's DCM Solutions, DCM Enterprise. Like, it should be general, right? Nobody should look at your business name and know what your business is. Why do I say that, right? Because if you're building business credit, towards the end where you're going up from lending and things of that nature, they automatically put you in this high-risk industry if you have your business name, depending on what business you're in. Let me make sure I say that, because it's not every business is not high risk. But if you are in a high-risk business, do not put it in your business name, right? That's number one. Number two, we want to have a EIN, a business bank account, a business phone number. What do you mean, Desiree, by business phone number? Go look at the back of your bank card, and it says 888 800 877. That should be your business phone number, right? Then you want to have a business email. Well, Desiree, what do you mean by that? Go pay for your domain, which would be your business name. It could go something like info at your business name, support at your business name. It just needs to be the info at a domain, which is your business name, right? And then we have a business address. And the reason I go so hard about the business address is because the steps are different for somebody that's starting out with the LLC. Because if you're starting out with the LLC, you haven't made the LLC yet, the first thing you need to do is go get you a business address. But say if you already have an LLC, you got everything established, then you need to go now amend your LLC, amend your EIN, go change your business bank account and things of that nature, because now you want a business address. So I'm gonna run that back one time real quick. You all need to make sure
run it back, select that.
Let me run it back one time real quick. So these are the steps, you all, to have a structured business. A business name, a business address, EIN, business bank account. You want to make sure you got a business email, a business phone number, a business website. You want to make sure that your Google is your business is listed on Google. So when you search your business name, you should pop up. Your business should pop up. So it's important. That's the first step, you all. If y'all don't have the structured business, then we don't need to be stepping into no apartment complexes talking about you want a corporate lease and you're not even structured correctly as a corporation. Okay, so that's the first step. Second step, start building your business credit, right? Start with your tier ones, which will be your net 30 accounts. Desiree, what is a net 30 account? A net 30 account is basically stating it's a term. So you have 30 days to pay this vendor back, right? But what I teach, don't pay it back in 30 days, but pay it back in 20 days, right? So you always want to pay 10 days earlier. Y'all, make sure y'all write that down. Pay 10 days earlier. That's the quickest way to start building your business credit, because not only
why, Desi?
Because they report faster. Okay. I need y'all to understand, and this is credit. I don't care if we're talking about personal business. We want to talk this. So I'm gonna break this down to y'all. It's important, you all, that not only do we pay back, but we pay back early and not on time. It's a saying, I think we used to be going to work. They used to say, when you on time, you're really late.
Right.
And I need y'all to keep that same mentality when you're building your business credit, or even when you're paying for your personal credit cards. Always pay back early and not on time. Okay. But they report faster when you pay back early and not on time for as business credit. Okay. So start building your tier one business credit, right? And then after you get that 80 payday score, which is done in Bradstreet, I need y'all to understand. You can go to dnb.com. You cannot start building business credit unless you have a DUNS number. That's very, very important, you all. You cannot start building business credit until you obtain a DUNS number. Okay?
And do you recommend somebody paying somebody $500 to get a DUNS number?
No. DUNS
because
is free.
Why?
It's free.
Right. But there are people
It's
out here that charge you. They're charging $400.
It's free. Stop letting these sites tell you got to pay $100 for your EIN. It's free.
Right? I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
You're good, right? So once you start building this tier one business credit, to give y'all a prime example, right? So when y'all see a lot of things on social media, you like corporate leasing and how do they get an Airbnb in their business name, right? Everybody's like, how do they do that? It's called a corporate lease, you all. And every apartment complex is different. I'm gonna say that again. Every apartment complex is different. Some want to see your business bank statement. So what I just tell you all in the beginning, the structure in your business is that you should have a business bank account. Y'all, I have run into so many people. They do hair, they do lashes, and they don't got a business bank account. So when somebody say, well, we need to see your business bank statements, not your personal, your business, and you don't even have a business account, you out the door. So that's why I put that in my structure, right? But to sum it up, you all, basically, to obtain these corporate leasing, right? For me, the ones I have run into, you need to be a structured business, and they want to see business scores, right? So my last apartment complex, they pulled for my Experian business. They wanted you to at least have a 56, right? And then y'all will get more into depth with the scores, but just to give you all a rundown of what these people asked for was a proper structured business, at least in business for a year. Some complexes do 6 months. Majority I have seen at least want 1 year. Okay. So guess what? To build up that 1 year, start building your business credit out. When you hit that first year, you're ready to go. Right? So bam. That's for my new people. That's for my new people. Like, well, I just started my business. That's cool. It's something that we could work on so you can get that corporate lease, right? So they ask for that business structure. Some ask for business bank statements. Some ask for your business credit score. Some I have seen some even ask for what is it called? What is it called? What is it called? Referrals. So not only they want to see who I mean, like, they want to see like who trusted you. Anything other than basically sorry about that. Basically who gained trust in you, right? So that's why it's important when you're building business credit that you not only pay early, because they report that you are a good business owner. You pay back. We had no problems with you. So that's what they're stating. To the point, you all, when I obtain my corporate leasings, they literally, when they pulled my business score, they did not want to see no bank statements. It's to the point I asked the lady, I said, y'all don't need my business bank statement? She said, no, your score tells us that you know how to pay back on time. So it's real important, you all, that we gain the trust. And it's real important, you all, that we structure our business as multi-billion-dollar companies. That's the key. That's the key to get a corporate lease. I'm telling you all.
And so many times people fail that because they I just begin, so I don't want to listen. Now you got to go for it. You got to go for it. You got to look at the future. You know what I'm saying, and what you're going toward versus what you're at starting. Like every business usually start off, you ain't made no money. You don't make anything, because you just started today. You just I get an LLC today. I just got a business bank account. I got a business. I'm not making any money, But my thing is, when I'm going to do things, I'm going to treat my company as that, like you said, that multi-billion-dollar company.
Because that's where you're trying to get.
That's where we're headed. That's where we're headed to.
That's exactly where you're trying to get. So, a lot, what I found out a lot about a lot of people, when I tell them the breakdown of the structure, they're like, man, what? But if you can't get through the breakdown of the structure, I don't know what to, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, because it's like, you got to put in the work as a business owner. You got to execute behind any idea you have. If you don't put in the work, if you don't execute, if you don't actually go into grind mode, nothing's going to work. Nothing's going to work.
That's so sad. So let me ask you this. So what are some of the things that you're seeing on the execution side of the Airbnb? Because so many people are doing that. It's hot out there in Atlanta, right? So everybody's doing it. Everybody has, well, they say they're doing it. So what are you seeing? You laugh for a reason, see? Everybody say they're doing it, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it sells a good course, so it sells a great ebook. But what are you seeing in this whole Airbnb type scenario situation?
Far as like starting it up, far as like, if what do you mean?
Yeah, just starting over and execute, like people doing it. Like, do you think it's definitely a hot thing to do, a hot market to do it, or is it just something that some people are messing it up, or is it something that's going to be here to stay long term? Are people getting more into direct once they kind of build their client list? They just kind of going private. What are you seeing?
And I say this too. I really and I don't even like saying the word Airbnb, because that's not the only thing, you all. That's really important. I know that Airbnb made it easy for us, but if Airbnb shut down today, What are y'all going to do? What are you going to do? Pay 2 rent or pay your rent and pay the Airbnb? Like I really and I like to say short term because I need people to understand that there's traveling nurses out here. That you got other sites like Verbo. It's not just Airbnb. Word of mouth, right? I had a traveling nurse stay 3 months at a time. A month later, another nurse reached out to me. So I need y'all to understand that it does not start and it does not end with Airbnb. That's real big because Airbnb makes you money for sure. In the summertime, it's crazy to the point I see why the apartment complex is trying to kick you out because they try to figure out why you making so much money.
Right, definitely. You know,
so
they
it's money.
see it. Right.
But what people don't tell you is it's a slow season in Airbnb. Right. So what are you going to do? Are you just going to chuck it up and keep coming out your pocket because it's slow season? Or are you going to find once again another route? Another
avenue.
You know what I mean? So I tell people Airbnb is cool. What else you going to do? Folks like, well, I was just going to do Airbnb. No, we're not just doing Airbnb.
Right.
But we need to get out here. We need to let people know not only are you on Airbnb, but if you need, I'm talking about it's to the point. I went to a hotel one day. I sat at the bar. This is a true story, you all. I sat next to a guy, and I think he said he was going to buy me a drink or something, and we was just talking. Before we left, I gave him one of my cards. I said, well, you know, because he told me he was corporate. He's up there in corporate for Dell or something like that, and I forgot what he was saying. I gave him a card. I said, let me know if you need anybody, employees. I have, units that I can house your employees. And, the first thing he said, he was like, wow, because I pay hotels. And I'm sitting right there. I'm like, no, just, bring them to me. You can email me there. I'll let you know if I have those days available. But, I say that to say, you all, network. It does not stop at Airbnb. I ran into this man. He has sent me 5 people so far. This was last year, you all, by a conversation at the bar. And you all, I need y'all to understand, don't be scared to talk. Don't be scared to open your mouth. Don't be scared to just, communicate. Because I think a lot of us is so stuck in our ways.
Right.
Where we don't even want to talk. But if I didn't even talk to that guy, if I didn't hold a conversation with that guy, I would never ran to the 5 people that he gave me last year. So I say that to say, get Airbnb out your head, you all, and actually focus on getting out here networking, letting these people know what you do. You have a short-term rental business. Forget Airbnb, right? So like that's what I teach, man. It's not just about Airbnb, man. It's not just about Airbnb. It's not.
It's about the business.
It's about the business. What are you doing? What are you doing?
And see, that's why I see people get stuck, right? Like you said, they get stuck in the Airbnb world. They get stuck in the Turo world, because it's a system that runs something, right?
So
you get so used to that system, and what happens is you don't even know how to run that business. You have something. You're providing a service, but you sit down here, people all the time. They mad at Turo, or they mad at Airbnb. Oh, they booked my stuff. They dropped the price. That I'll laugh at them. I said, because you want to work for somebody. That's why. Because you want to work for somebody. It's like people, no offense, I tell people that drive trucks and they drive for Amazon, right? They brag, oh man, we got Amazon contracts. I said, well, because you want to work for somebody. Because as soon as you tell Amazon no, guess what's going to happen? They're going to dump you. Because you work for them. At the end of the day, I don't care how many trucks you got. You can have 15 trucks. You tell them no one time.
Yeah.
And see what happens. You're done. Your scores drop down. Oh, they're your trucks, though. Guess what's going to happen? You can't tell them. There you go. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now you got to go sit here, and because they don't understand the business of it, they got to go around there and try to find. Oh well, this right. I don't know what to do. You're right. You don't know what to do because you don't understand the business of it.
The business.
So you hear people that have all these things. Oh yeah, well no, I got this many trucks with Amazon. I got this many trucks. This right here, cars on Turo, and I'll be laughing at them. I'll be like, so that's your only avenue? So if something happened, if they stop, they say freeze, then what do you have now? You know, or when they're lowering your prices on your car, because that's what they can do. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to look at how they're gonna make money. They might say you got a price too high, so they're gonna drop the price on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you have on to a road. They're gonna do that because they have number crunches because they want to see how much they need to bring in. Yeah, they're gonna play equalizer on your vehicles or equalizer on your property. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna double book. You know, when you didn't realize it, because they're gonna control it. It's their system.
It's their system, and that's what I want people to understand. Make up your own system. How are you going to reach people outside of Airbnb? Even if you meet a guest on Airbnb, how can you stay connected with this person outside? If Airbnb shut down right now, did you get that person information?
Right. It was in their portal that they can shut you out at any moment.
So that's it, y'all. Like I said, Airbnb love it, right? But I have to think for the long term. What if Airbnb say, you know what, we got our money, we done? Because what y'all fail to realize is the hotels right now is hating on Airbnb to the point they might, I don't know, buy them out. I don't know. So like, what y'all gonna do? And like I said, one day, me and my friend, like, I want to be the source that corporations come to. I don't want to be I'm the middleman. It's like Airbnb is the middleman. Like, I'm the middleman, right? So I want to be where, just how people get on the Airbnb app, instead of going on the app, they coming to me. Like, I want to be that plug. Like people say, I'm the plug, right? But that's it, you all. We have to, just like you said, the business. What is your business? Airbnb is not your business. They're not giving you a cut. What is your business? Now you are a private landlord, short-term rental, whatever the case you want to put on it. But get away from Airbnb. Like, I love Airbnb. Airbnb listed on Airbnb to this day. But have a backup, have a plan B. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Like I keep saying, when it got slow, when everybody was looking crazy, because Airbnb was what? I'm talking about people like, I'm slow, you slow. I'm like, well, I got a nurse in my unit, so I'm okay for 3 months, you know? So it's outsourcing. You all communicating. Let people know what you do. People don't know what you do just by sitting down at a table or just by sitting at the bar. People don't know what you do. It's not written on your forehead. So it's like, you know, we got to be willing to communicate. I think that's big. And a lot of us entrepreneurs don't even want to communicate.
And that's the issue. Like, that is a big issue.
We could help each other so much. If I tell you what I do, you tell me what you do. I may know somebody who you need. You may know somebody I need. Like, we don't what? That's this big. We don't communicate. Might know a guy that can fix my whole problem. Like,
it's a shame.
That's crazy.
It's a shame. It's really a shame.
But if I had to give you all advice, for real, Airbnb is a great start. You know, list your thing there. But I need y'all to understand that it doesn't stop there. And that's all I'm going to say. It does not stop there. That's it.
With the explanation point right there. With the explanation point. All right, we're going to jump into one more commercial, then we're going to come back and get some closing words from my girl, and we're going to see what we're going to make it happen. All right, then. All right.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jajuice. We out here at the Humble Civic Center, Billionaire Bullet Club, dog show, and car show. We will be here till about 7 o'clock or until the slides run out. Come out and shop with us. We got the best nutritious, delicious, cold pressed juices in the city. Come out here and shop. Enjoy your day. Come out and shop.
Y'all better stop playing. Hey, listen, Firecast are doing it. You better like that commercial wasn't popping. We gonna be throwing commercials in here like what we do it around here. All right, so all right. Now, as far as I'm gonna let you freestyle, you know what I'm saying, at the end of this piece right here. Um, what is it and what type of advice would you give to the new wave of entrepreneurs and the entrepreneurs that have been out here for a while? Seeing that you how old again? 20 what?
24.
24 years old. She will be a millionaire, you know what I'm saying, before she's 30. That's for sure. I already know it because you are just top tier. Honestly, top tier. And the thing I want to say is just right here. Stay like you are. When I say, I sense a straight genuineness from you, that you're just a genuine person. You don't try to put on no airs and you don't do all that extra stuff that, I told you, I'm talking about that people be extra sometimes. Because at the end of the day, I seen a clip today from the Super Bowl, and it showed LeBron James, the dude who played Spider Man, and a couple of people up in the press booth, in the booth up there, right? And you know what, man? I looked at them. Them jokers had some old T-shirts on, some Levi's. You know what I'm saying? And they made a lot of money, right? But what the thing I noticed most of is that they were just being who they are. You know, they didn't have to put on anything for nothing, right? They didn't have to do anything to impress people when they walked out. And there's nothing wrong with looking good, looking great, flossing it up. That's what people do, and that's cool. But most people, that's not really just who they are when they're walking around the house. That's not them. So many people have to put on an air or a front, you know what I'm saying, to the point they have to walk outside just to be on stage. To walk outside, to go to the store, they got to be on stage and never themselves. And but the funny thing I said to somebody today, I said it's so funny that the more money people get, the further they go from people, right? They want private islands. They want to go places where nobody can really go, right? That's weird. But the less money people have, the more they want to be seen, and that is really weird. And I made that point today, right? But if there's these people who are genuine people who they're the way they are throughout life, right? They maybe started off wearing t-shirts and stuff like that, and it's just who they are. And they come into all this money or whatever, and that's what they do. Dr. Dre, I think he took a piece from Ozzy Osbourne. You ever heard of him? Ozzy
Yeah.
Osbourne?
Yep.
Okay, so one thing about Ozzy Osbourne, right? He always wore black. You know, no matter what, he wore black, right? And so they had a show he used to come on, and I used to watch a little reality show they had. And so in his room, in his closet, everything he had in his closet was black. Like it was a type of shirt he liked and some pants he liked. Didn't like it, but he had damn near 100 pair of them, 100 shirts, all iron pressed or whatever. And he made his thing. He said, "You know what? I might not. I might put the same one I had on yesterday. Because it's just me what I do. But I mean, I have other ones if I want to. But what happens is people won't worry about what you're wearing. When people do that. And so I'm not saying that's for everybody, but so it just comes to a certain style. If it's t-shirts and Chuck Taylors, and that's what people see you, that's what they see, right?
Right.
You can do whatever you need to do. You can do what you need to do when you need to go somewhere, and you have to go certain places, right? But it's probably just your comfortable thing, right? So that's just my piece on it right there. But what do you have to tell people?
What I want to leave y'all with, man. First off, I know we hear this a lot, but like we got to stop giving up. Like I really need y'all to when like I said earlier to write down your why. Like, and if I didn't tell y'all before, my why is my little siblings, and that's what I do it for. So every time I even speak on it or think about it, anytime that I want to give up, I think about them, right? And where they'll be if I don't make it. You know what I mean? So just never to give up. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care how hard it gets. Like I didn't even have to have prep talks to myself. Like Desiree, you done made it too far. Look where you at. Another thing I need y'all to do, I do this to myself too. Look where you was 2, 3 years ago, and look where you at now. and just take that in, like breathe on that. And I really can say 2 to 3 years ago, like I am moving, progressing, and that's the same way you should look at it. Like you wasn't who you are the year before. All right. Another thing I want to leave y'all with is your circle and who you surround yourself with. I
Say
had
it.
to hear this like 50 trillion times in my life. Like, I used to be the one. If I knew you in sixth grade, if I knew you in elementary, you my ride, girl. We gonna ride, right? But I had to learn everybody is not meant to go on that journey with you. I know it sounds crazy. I know you like, but that was my best friend for 20 years. I get it, right? But it could be your loved one, it could be your family, it could be your friend. I don't care, you all. I tell people all the time. I tell my family all the time. It's times where I had to tell my family I'm taking a break. Don't ask me for nothing. I'm focusing on my business, what I have going on. If you cannot accept that, then bye bye.
Ooh.
And I need y'all to understand that you need that. Your energy, you need that. What you hear, you need that. So if somebody's not around you talking, what you're or in the same level as you or talking the same level or trying to get to that level, then
Right.
they're no good. So your circle, you are, I need y'all to understand, because when I changed mine, when I dropped my friends and I start getting around millionaires and billionaires and even people that's making six figures, it changed you like, dang, like they don't even talk about the same stuff you and Keisha was just talking about on the couch. Y'all talking about like everything's just changed, you all. So like if you don't take nothing from me, man, watch who you around, change your circle, change what you listening to, change just the words that come out your mouth. Write down your affirmations. Like it's so much stuff that I do that's different from last year. It don't make no sense. Like to the point, if I hear my friend saying something like negative, cut it. Like we're gonna rephrase that. Even if
Right.
it's hard, you can't pay your rent this month. Not let's say, dang, I can't pay my rent. What am I going to do to pay my rent? What am
Right.
I gonna do?
Right.
Like we just need to switch up a little bit of how we saying things, how we think about things, man. Because when I was younger, I swear to God, I'm like, man, God, why are you taking me through this? Like, why am I going through this? And as I got older, it made me who I am today. So it's just like just stop looking at stuff like everything is so negative and pull the positive out of it. So that's what I want to leave to y'all. Like, and invest, man. Like, invest in yourself. The first two
Ooh.
words in investment is invest me. I need y'all to understand. Invest in yourself because nobody else will. Y'all keep talking about y'all want investors. But an investor will not invest in you if he don't even see that you have the investment in yourself or the
Come
belief
on
in
now.
yourself.
Come on
So
now, girl. Put
I
it out
want to
there.
leave that with y'all,
Put
man.
it out
Like
there.
that's for real, bro. Like I just want to leave y'all with that. Like stop giving up. Stop the negativity. Like stop saying what you can't do and write down what you can do. Like just a lot, man.
And that's she's 24 years old. Come on now. Come on, man. That's 24 years old talking to y'all. And I'm not hard on this age thing because one, I think you learn from everybody. But the fact that you don't understand how refreshing it is to hear, in everything that you went through. You've gone through so much, you know what I'm saying? Grandma Johnny doing her thing, you know what I'm saying, keeping the kids together so they don't have to be put in the system and stuff like that. And you having to kind of grow up so early and just really be about your business and be about things, learning things from the start, asking questions, not scared to have conversations with people to say, hey, jump on the Zoom right here if you want to check something out, and you checking it out and really kind of like, man, okay, let me look further than this. Understanding that, hey, you understood peer grouping, well in advance. You understood your childhood alumni, and as far as understanding that, sometimes people you come up with, we got to look at people as we're coming up with people because what are they branching off to? If people go, they dissect people, or dissect relationships and see where they have gone. Are they just conversation relationships? Are people
Right.
still talking the same thing? They're just talking, like, oh yeah, man, I want to start a business. Yeah, I want to do this right here. And I'm not saying everybody's not like that, right? But I'm only talking to the people who are about starting business, the people who are probably going to be entrepreneurs and stuff like that. You have to have those conversations with people that have that same type of energy, that they want to do. Before the show started, you know what I'm saying? A good friend of mine came through, and so we were talking about business and things, but every time we talk, it's always about moving forward. It's always about betterment. It's all about it's always wide-eyed conversation. I want to use that. It's wide-eyed conversation because we're looking at, hey, where we at last year? You know what I'm saying? I'm coming up on 1 year here, having a podcast, and I look at from where I started to where I'm at in the direction I'm going as far as even networking, communicating, bringing people together, or just really learning things from everybody, learning things from you, getting those nuggets that you be giving, and people, trust me, I know people are going to contact you. They're going to go back and they're going to look at this episode. They're going to look at excerpts from it, because I'm going to put things up, some of the nuggets you done dropped out there, and they're going to connect to you because the reason why is, I promise you, I've heard a lot of people do many things. There's a person, her name is Rocky. Shout out to Rocky. She talks about personal credit, and she's a beast at it. She's a beast, you know what I'm saying? And she started business credit too, but her thing is personal credit.
Yep.
And I had her on my show, and the way she talked about it, she talked about the business aspect of looking at people's credit and making them understand, because she wanted to educate. She didn't want to just do it and it's done. She wants to educate people about it.
I love that.
And that's why I like Rocky so much. And the way she does things is the same thing with you. You really care. You're doing things. I'm glad to have met you, and I know next time in Atlanta, I'm gonna make sure we meet, face to face. But you're doing great work. You're doing a great thing.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate everything that you're doing. I love watching a rock star. You're definitely a rock star. I think a lot of people can get some stuff from you, and they should. I think people should reach out to you. And definitely, man, she gives out so many nuggets just on her page. She says things. I look at the one post you did when you walked through the Airbnb, and you were talking about things, and what to look for when you're going into a property, to look forward to renting out and stuff like that. People are not doing that. They got by the course. Look at it when you do your mastermind classes and stuff with your crew. Man, people sitting outside, in the doorway, trying to let you know what you saying in there. I said, dang. I said, that's what I'm talking about, man. People out there in the doorway. Girl, move over. Let me get in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's good stuff. That means you have something to give. That means that, one, you're proven, and it's not all that glitzy glamour and the Rolls Royces and you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's for a group of people. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. And I end with this. I had a conversation probably about a week ago. And the conversation was this. There are people who help people after they get to certain milestones, right? I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that. But my thing is, I'm going to help people. I don't care where you at. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And if somebody tells me I need to reach a certain milestone before I help you, I'm talking about like, I got to make this much money before you even help me. I got to make, no. So you don't want to help me. I'm saying you want to help yourself, and that's cool. And I'm not hating on that. But if it's about being genuine doesn't have a level of price tag. Now, we have to pay for services. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that. No, people got to pay you for your time, your service like that. But what I'm saying is, I have to make $500,000 before I can even come up to y'all and just communicate with y'all. I don't need to buy an obligation. I don't need to pay for an obligatory friendship. That's what I don't need.
What's so crazy? Somebody once told me, because I was so skeptical about teaching business credit, they had to open my eyes, and they said, do you know steps 1 through 10? I said, yeah. They said, you know how many people don't know even steps 1 through 10? And it really made me like, dang, don't think you all, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. Don't think that you have to know all 50 or 100 steps. You know more steps than the next person. So teach. And that's why I always say, if I haven't did it, I'm not teaching it. I'm not teaching it. So if I learned it, if I have did it, I'm going to teach you. I'm gonna tell you what I did and stuff like that. So it's important, y'all. Don't think that we, like you said, have to hit that 100,000 mark, $1 million mark before we can start teaching it.
Yeah.
You don't.
Mm-hmm. Hey, well, thank you again, Des. I really appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? It was a great show. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was long overdue, but it was at the right time. You know, and I appreciate this. Hey, and I appreciate everybody, you know what I'm saying, who tuned in tonight. I really do. Look forward to have a show on Thursday and Friday this week. Thursday, I have a young lady coming in, and found it very interesting. She has her own wine. How many people do you get? Young lady. Once again, y'all killing me. And shout out to the women. Y'all doing your thing. You know, she has her own wine. If you look at my story, you'll see her on there. At the same time, everybody has a unique story to it. But I don't. Do you know anybody have their own wine? And I'm not talking about being an ambassador. I ain't talking about being an ambassador either.
Not personally.
Right. I'm not talking about being an ambassador. I'm talking about somebody who has their own wine. You know, and so for to do it, and she named the wine after her daughter. You know, so it's amazing. So just really, I'm looking forward to that show on Thursday, and then on Friday we got a great show. Got 3 young ladies that's coming in. One be in Studio 2, one's out in Virginia, one is up in Dallas. But you know, we bring them in on the scene. That's going to be a hot show, definitely a hot show. And so thanks everybody. We're going to close out with that great juice, and it'll end after that right there. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. And Desi, thanks again for showing up. You know what I'm saying? No, and I'll be hollering at you when I come through Atlanta, all right?
Thank you for having me, and enjoy the rest of your week.
All right, you too. I appreciate you.
All right.
What's going on, everybody? This Juice. We out here at the Humble Civic Center. Here, you know, Bullet Club, dog show, car show. We will be here till about 7 o'clock or until the supplies run out. Come out and shop with us. We got the best nutritious, delicious, cold fresh juices in the city. Got some dope dogs,